So welcome everybody to this inaugural Divine Pulse Community Circle. This felt like such a long time coming for me to create this kind of space, and something that's really been speaking to my soul for so long in my journey of really showing up in the online space and providing my gifts and being in that space of just really being visible, right? And I know we've all been on that journey in our own ways, be it in our professional, personal life, or both, right? And I realized that I really, really love, my first great love is to really create community, because it's in the circles of community and the circles of sisterhood for us as women as well, that we really find that support for our ongoing spiritual journey and the consistency that sometimes we really need, right? To just feel that support, to be able to drop in regularly and just receive. And I know for myself, because I am moon in Aquarius, I have this real desire and love for community. And I'm also a really independent soul, right? Let me know in the chat if you resonate with that. Like this feeling of, I love to be part of the group, I love to be part of the sisterhood, but there's also some fear and some trepidation there, or maybe some experiences you've had in the past that have led you to go back into your shell or into your nest. And especially over the last 2 years that we've had, right, or coming up on 3 years now, this sense of isolation that many of us have felt. And so with these circles, I really realized that actually I have a lot of pieces that I love to share, and real spiritual tools and just insights that I receive throughout the month, that this space really feels like that space to cultivate that, to share that, to really be able to drop in regularly with the energies of the season, with the energies of Mama Gaia as she is journeying around the sun, and with the moon and all of the cycles of the stars and the celestial beings and the cosmic beings that impact upon us. And so that's where this idea for the Divine Pulse began, was this idea of really being in tune with that divine pulse. Yeah, and I'm seeing those of you who are live with me saying that you're resonating with this in the chat. Yeah, this feeling of, we love community, but we also love being in our nest. And so because this circle is online, right, you can drop in your own time. And I'll always upload the replays to my YouTube channel as well, so that it's there as a resource that you can just put on in the background while you're cooking, or while you're about to drop into meditation, or whatever it is, just to feel the support of this divine feminine focused circle. And although this is a divine feminine focused circle, we really welcome all genders to be here as well. So this gathering is really for all who feel that call of the divine pulse, of really remembering that in our everyday lives and resonating with that on this deep cellular level, so that we can tap into that throughout our days, throughout our lives. Yeah. And so with that being said, let's drop in together for an opening invocation, just to feel the support here, this sacred space opening up for us today. Just beginning to take some deep breaths. I'm having to take extra deep breaths because I was burning sage in this room before we began, and it's still pretty smoky in here. So apologies if I need to clear my throat a little bit here. Just taking some deep breaths. letting go of your day thus far. Maybe with a sigh or a sound. Just feeling that energy drop into the earth. And as you breathe in, breathing up the strength and the support of Mother Earth. Breathing this red nectar of the earth up through the base of your feet, up your legs, into your pelvis, up through your whole body, up to your heart center. Allowing the heart space to relax, opening the back of the heart and the front of the heart, almost as though there are two spinning concentric circles of light, one at the back of the heart and one at the front of the heart, that are spinning, resonating, opening. And breathing in and sending this energy up now from the heart space, through the crown of your head, up into the sky above, into the cosmos. Calling down the presence of the cosmic starlight energy, the cosmic womb energy of the Divine Mother. Calling to your guides, any beings that work with you, to come and be with you. Calling them in and commanding them forth. Commanding being this powerful word that means come and be with me now in my life here. Offer your support. And as you feel that starlight energy cascading down over your brow center, into your throat center, feeling free here to make any sounds. Maybe it's a humming sound, maybe it's a tone. If it's the morning for you, maybe this is among the first sacred sounds that you've made today. Just letting your voice open now as we sing and sound together this invocation to our divine selves to be here, filling up our bodies with this cosmic light and with the energy of the earth. feeling and knowing that just in this act of opening up the throat center, opening up the heart center, we're inviting in more and more life force energy, more light energy to beam into our beings, to ignite our passions and dreams. Calling in the presence of the great queen, Isis, Isa. We call to Hathor, cosmic star mother, celestial cow mother, goddess of music and sacred sound, to bless this gathering today. May we deeply remember this frequency of sacred sound resonating in each one of our cells as we hum with the divine pulse of life, as we are one with the divine pulse of all existence. Calling in Mother Mary in the order of the blue rose to bless our heart centers today with her light of compassion, of deep inner knowing and inner truth. Breathing in these energies now. Hail and welcome to all of these beings. Hail and welcome to each one of us gathering in this circle, bringing our divine truth, our gifts. Blessed be. So lovely to feel just bathed in that blue light. Yeah. And you know, it's so interesting. I would love to know, those of you who are here with me live, if you resonate with the energy of Mother Mary, if you've felt her energy with us in recent days, in recent weeks. Yeah, she's a very strong archetypal energy, and I'll be honest, for many, many years, as I was healing my own wounds from growing up, going to Christian schools and experiencing quite a repressive form of Protestant Christianity, I really did not seek a connection with these Gnostic divine feminine beings for a long time. And it was really when I began my own womb healing journey, healing my own relationship with the feminine, with my mother line, that I really began to call in the presence of Mother Mary. And it actually began for me with Mary Magdalene. She was more relatable to me because she kind of was presented as this flawed woman, right? She's very much on the human plane in the way that Christianity presents her. But Mother Mary, she brings this different illumination, this really high priestess energy. And with that very radiant sapphire blue ray that she brings, I sense how deeply connected she is to these ancient temple spaces of Hathor and Isis, as she was trained in these mystery schools from a very young age. And seeing some of you are also really resonating with her in the chat, yeah. And yeah, that's really interesting. Cindy is saying that she is the goddess of this land. There are Mary chapels in every street in Belgium. Wow. Yeah, so of course, you know, many of us recognize that Mary is really the way in which the goddess became this acceptable version within Christianity, right? And to some extent, this actually began with Isis, with the Isis cults that swept across Europe, really birthing out of Africa into Europe. And even, you know, under Roman rule, Isis was very much acceptable. In early Christian times, Isis was still acceptable. She was this goddess that really became associated with the archetypal divine mother energy, with that energy of perfect womanhood, perhaps under the eyes of patriarchy. But of course, those of us who work with Isis very deeply, we know that this is just the tip of the iceberg of her energy, right? But she does have this incredible capacity to wrap her wings of light around us and bring us that soothing balm, that mother energy that really enables us to mother ourselves. Because when we connect with these goddess archetypes, what we're really doing is we're stating to the universe, we're claiming these energies for ourselves in our own being. And so this is some strand to always come back to here, is to really remember and recognize that when we call upon these beings, we're not calling to something outside of us. We're not projecting the divine onto some external force. Yeah, and we're not saying, please, Isis, I ask you to bring me all of the abundance I want this month, or please heal my womb for me, right? No, this is not actually the most empowering way for us to work with these archetypes. And actually I do it myself. It's easy to slip into these places where through patriarchal religion, we have really been conditioned to think of the divine as outside of ourselves. And actually, when we call upon these beings, we're recognizing their embodiment as part of us, as part of our experience, because they are beings that humanity has connected with for so many thousands of years. And their names and their archetypes have transmuted over time. And in the 3-part initiations journey that I have on my website, this is one of these deep dives into really recognizing some of these archetypes for yourself and really going on some deep journeys to actually embody them, to bring them into your awareness, to really understand your relationship to some of these core patterns of wounding that many of us carry around motherhood, around our mother line, around our relationship to our womb center, our creative center, whether we are man, woman, whatever gender, this center of creativity within us at the sacral that is deeply connected to the womb of creation. And also sisterhood healing, how we relate to the sisterhood as a whole. So that journey is there to support you if you wish to go deeper with this. But this sense of Mother Mary, I really feel her strongly coming in this Virgo season as that archetype of the priestess, of the high priestess. And by high priestess, I really mean one who has become queen of her realm, one who really understands and deeply embodies her truth in her sacred service, in her spiritual service. And you get to determine, right, whether these words and these titles appeal to you, and if they are titles that you wish to bring on board and to relate to in your life, right? But I think it's so interesting how in Virgo season, we can begin to relate to Mother Mary as that priestess energy, as that real vein of pure divine feminine light that's coming through. And I wanted to speak to this today because it's been coming up a lot for me in my reality, especially since that powerful Pisces full moon that we had, I think it was exactly a week ago, right? On September 10th, around then. Did anyone else find that to be especially powerful? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, it was such a powerful full moon, and I was reminded when I was reading the posts from one of my favorite astrologers that Pisces is the last sign in the zodiac. So she really carries this energy of surrender, of dissolving. And I just loved that image with Pisces. I hadn't really connected to that before. And this idea of really dissolving away anything that is not pure truth. And that for me is what this Pisces-Virgo axis really represents, is dissolving away anything that is not your truth to come home to the source of your devotion within, the source of your priestess energy. Yeah, and as we shed those layers, as we dissolve, this is where our emotions come to the surface. And I personally found I was really digging into some very deep layers of sorrow and grief that were coming up to the surface to be released last week. And they were layers that I hadn't even known existed, and that were relating to really aspects of my life that I thought I'd healed. And actually this is the invitation, isn't it? When we step into an understanding of these cycles of life, of these cycles of the astrological wheel, is this real feeling that that we can go deeper and deeper in each layer of our own healing with each cycle. And so as we are still within this Virgo Pisces energy for the next few days before we move into the sign of Libra, it's really this invitation for us all to really go deep within to find our truth. And especially, you know, as the moon is in Gemini today, the moon in Gemini is deeply connected to those mercurial aspects of communication, of actually stepping up and being seen to be in our truth, to be deeply in tune with our truth in different aspects of our lives, even those where potentially we've stayed small and quiet in order to please our own fear or please the fear of others. And this is something that I've been reflecting on really deeply in the last few days, is just really understanding where I'm in truth and alignment and where I'm not. And as someone who teaches this pathway of vocal activation, of really empowering your priestess voice, the way of the priestess of sacred sound, right? I currently have this beautiful journey with 25 women journeying to initiate as priestesses of sacred sound, some of whom are live with us on this call. And this is such a potent and deep journey of remembering what it means to be in our truth. Because especially as women, we have been conditioned from a young age to please others, right? And many of us may have experienced that as a need to stay small in order to be safe, in order to be physically safe, in order to be emotionally safe. There are so many layers of this to unpack. And with this way of devotion to your own truth, it's really that space of really trusting that you're going at the pace that is right for you. So I'm by no means saying, you know, after this call, that you go out and just shout your truth to everyone you meet, or if there's someone in your life with whom you're having a bit of an altercation, going straight into that space with them. That's not what I'm suggesting. What I'm suggesting is really leaning into that energy of dissolving, of really understanding the layers and layers that can be at play in different relationships and different dynamics. And what is there beneath it all? What does your truth really mean? And I really feel that this is one of the most powerful initiations on the goddess path. And I remember when I stepped onto my first priestess training with Kathy Jones, and she said to me, you know, you're training to become a priestess of Avalon. Be prepared for your life to change. If you're not ready for your life to change, this is not right for you, right? And this is really the invitation with the goddess path, isn't it? Is that we really have to be in our truth. Otherwise, what is the point of any of it, right? And throughout our lives, we get challenged in different ways to stay in our truth. For instance, this can come up for us in the realm of speaking our desires versus speaking our needs in relationship with our partners, with our family, with our friends, with our co-workers. And it's something that in my own relationship, I've been really, really disentangling, is the idea of desire versus need. What is actually a need for me in order for me to be in my truth versus what do I want? What do I desire? And I do feel that in the conscious relationship space, often desire and need get really mixed up. And often we are expressing things that we say are needs that are actually desires. And so feel into this for yourself. If the word need is actually empowering, or is it actually implying a space of lack? Right? And I don't say that because I don't believe there are needs. I do believe that we all have needs. Of course we have needs. We're humans. We're divine beings having a human experience, right? We have a need for water. We have a need for food. We have a need for sleep. We have a need to feel safe emotionally, to feel safe physically. Otherwise, our higher self is going to do everything in our power to get ourselves out of the situation that we're in and onto something else. So for sure, the realm of needs is an aspect of our divine truth. But then there's also the space of our desires. There's the space of what are we calling in? What can we improve? How can I be even clearer about how I really desire things to be? And in my experience, this is such a beautiful space to approach places of altercation or conflict in relationship. Because when we step into the realm of desires, we really come from a place that the other being or other beings we're interacting with can relate to and understand. Whereas if we come with need upon need upon need, it's a very hard energy to throw into the space. And that's not to say that needs are not worthy of communicating. They absolutely are. But there's that energy of desire, of how we really are dreaming things can be better, how we can create even more safety and love in the relationship. That's a really deep part of this. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, this sage smoke has like totally created a little smoke shack in here. I took it outside half an hour ago. But let me know in the chat if this conversation is resonating with you. I'm just going to mute the line while I clear this. Yeah, it's interesting as we talk about this, you know, my throat chakra is responding. It's such a deep component of this divine feminine web. Yeah. And so many layers. And This is why I personally love to work with the cycles of the stars, with the cycles of the moon. And something I've been tapping into recently is just that, is charting what the moon is doing on each day. Because as the moon interacts with the rest of the astrological chart, it actually creates almost daily changes for us as well. Yeah. So speaking our desires versus speaking from a place of need or perceived need. Yeah, such an interesting one. And a piece of guidance I really feel has been coming through from Mother Mary is that space of stepping into our compassionate truth and understanding that truth is really all about love at the end of the day. When we communicate our boundaries, when we communicate our heart's desires and what is in our heart, this is really where we get to drop into the deepest places of love with others and with ourselves, versus continually pleasing our own fear or pleasing the fear of others. Yeah, so I'd love for us just to drop into a meditation, a short journey together, to really sense this and to receive from Mother Mary this energy of support for our truth as we journey through Virgo season, through the season of the High Priestess, through to the season of Libra, the season of balance, of harmony, of beauty. And of course we have autumn equinox next week for those of us in the northern hemisphere, and spring equinox in the southern hemisphere. So it is really approaching that time where we get to reflect on balance in our own lives, of balance in all things. So just taking some deep breaths now, dropping in to this circle, to this sacred space. And Rianne is sharing in the chat, we learn to navigate using our compass of compassion. Yeah. Really honoring those words. Yeah, that compass of compassion. Really seeking that deeper understanding always of how we can drop into truth. The goddess wants us to be in our truth. She wants us being raw and real, because it's then that we're deeply connected to our own creative powers, our powers to create. So just inviting you to really feel now the element of water in your body, tuning in to the pulse of your heart beating. That's spreading this flow of water throughout your body without you even having to ask. Giving thanks for your life. Giving thanks for your life. And as you breathe, breathing into the space of the heart, allowing the heart to relax. And we'll just do a few rounds of these connected heart-womb breaths. So breathing up on the inhale from the space of the physical or energetic womb, the sacral chakra, breathing up to the heart on the inhale, and down from the heart into the womb on the exhale. And on the exhale, you can begin to bring in a humming tone as you bring the energy of the heart to the womb. It might be on this note, the D note, the sacral note that I'm playing here, or any other tone. Inhaling from the womb space to the heart, exhaling from the heart to the womb space. Dropping into your own embodied wisdom, relaxing your jaw, relaxing the tongue in the mouth, softening the eyes in the eye sockets with a soft gaze or closed eyes. Beautiful. Such an honor to sit in space with you all today. Really honoring your commitment to your path, your commitment to living in alignment with your truth as leaders, as light workers, as priestesses. I'm just inviting you now to bring into your awareness, or maybe you're already there, a place in your life where there is some uncertainty at the minute. Somewhere, something, some relationship perhaps, where you're seeking some guidance around your truth. And sensing now how the water element in your being is inviting the dissolving of any layers of fear that are there. Fear of the outcome if you were to really drop into your truth. How can you bring even more space to this situation? How can you really step up now into your most courageous self? Feeling the energies of Mother Mary with us, inviting you to lengthen your spine, to open your heart, lengthening the back of the neck, opening to receive the guidance, the messages from within you. And as you open to receive, I'm going to begin with this simple chant for the element of water. And if you feel to drop into the chant with me, you can, or you can simply listen and allow the sound waves to wash over you. Mother of the oceans, Mother of the sea, Mother of the springs and wells, Mother of the sea, I give into your flow. I am one with your flow. Mother of the oceans, Mother of the sea, Mother of the springs and wells, Mother of the sea, I give into your flow. I am one with your flow. I give into your flow. I am one with your flow. Mother of the oceans, Mother of the sea, Mother of the springs and wells, Mother of the sea, I give into your flow. I am one with your flow. I give into your flow. I am one with your flow. Sensing the presence of all of these layers of truth. Flowing away, breathing through any layers of doubt. And when you've found that kernel of truth within you, maybe it's a word, maybe it's a message that you're retrieving, just listening in. Is there anything else? Is there anything else there that you can draw in? Any more support that you can offer to yourself? Having dropped into this space of really trusting the truth that arises. When you feel that you're resonating at that layer of truth in relation to this situation, really now visualizing how to articulate, how to capture this in the most compassionate way for yourself, for others. Perhaps making a sound, a tone, as you anchor this truth into your body. Feeling Mother Mary placing a beautiful blue rose at your heart space. And she's saying, daughter, this is the space of your remembrance of me. Whenever you are in need, call upon me to assist you in stepping into this truth, coming back into wholeness, remembering that you are a child of the divine Mother, Father, source of all creation. I am walking with you. I am right by your side. Call upon me to bring you the strength and the grace of the Divine Mother to strengthen and support your truth today and all days, knowing that nothing is ever truly lost within the heart of creation. Love is never lost where it has been tended to, cultivated, and grown. The love within, this is the essence of your truth. And we give thanks. Sensing this soothing energy of Mother Mary washing through your being, washing through your heart, through your throat, through your womb space, your sacral chakra, all the way into the earth. And as you gently come back to this space now, breathing deeply and sensing how you can capture this space of truth. Maybe if you have your journal with you, making some notes. Remembering that it is never selfish to be in our truth. It is always the opposite, in fact. This power that we all have to create that sanctum within. Even in times where the mainstream voices would have us believe that chaos is the only route forward, this path of devotion, of aligning to that divine pulse, is really anchoring that inner sanctum, that inner temple within the temples of our chakras, within the temple of our bodies. Learning the ways by which we all uniquely drop into that space, and sacred sound is just one of those pathways. Maybe for you it's combining it with embodiment, with dance, with movement, with nature, with being in her nature, with having your hands in the earth. So it's really this invitation to drop into those spaces, that inner sanctum for yourself. Blessed be. Thank you for your beautiful share, Tahya. She's saying in the chat, a rhythm bubbled up from deep within my inner core. Yeah, and I've been so blessed to work with this instrument. I wanted to show you all. I don't know if Tahya's still here or if she's popped off. Really blessed to receive these sacred sistra, these sistrums. This is an instrument aligned to the ancient priestesses of Hathor and Isis. And until now, they've been really difficult for us in the UK to get. And I'm so, so grateful to Tahya for rebirthing these ancient sonic mysteries through this absolutely gorgeous instrument. And I was playing it a little bit on that meditation as well. It's just hugely powerful. So if you're someone who works a lot with clearing energy, with moving energy, with really empowering others or yourself through sacred sound, I really encourage you to take a look at Tahya's website and this instrument. And if you are in the UK, I have a couple. I have 2 left of the shipment that I most recently ordered. Yes, showing off the ceremonial system. So any UK sisters, I do have 2 left. So send me a message if you would like to acquire one for your personal percussion collection. They go so well with the frame drum, with the tambourine, with just building that really powerful collection of instruments that support our connection to the divine. And I just love the care and attention to detail that's gone into the ceremonial system. So honoring you, Tahya, thank you. Thank you, sister, for bringing this incredible creation to life and for designing this. Yeah. One of my favorite things about it are these snake-shaped, I don't know what they're called, like little arms on the sistrum. And none of the sistra that I brought back from Egypt had this. This is actually a really authentic design, aligned with what they actually look like from what the ancient priestesses used. So snake-shaped rods, thank you, Tahya. So yeah, just honoring all of the beauty that's coming forward and that's coming through us all and our creations, our creative potential, and honoring all of you for being present in this circle today, for bringing your divine wisdom. Thank you for going on this journey with me deep into this deep pool of our truth. Sometimes those waters can be a little bit murky, yeah? So it's this sense that this meditation that we went on, that can unfold now over the coming hours, the coming days, to really encourage you to drop in. If you're in an emotional situation where you feel that you are moving out of your center, i.e. you are giving your power away in some sense, let me encourage you from this circle to just draw yourself back in, to align with that axis of truth that we spoke of, the Virgo Pisces axis, the path of the priestess. Really knowing and sensing the power that you have to create your own reality, to empower the divine pulse within you. So thank you. Thank you for being here with us. We give thanks to all of the beings, all of the divine ones that have been called in today, to all of our own guides and helpers. As you step out from this circle, really being aware of your own energy field. If you've been taking the whole journey for the last hour, really sensing, do I need to do a little bit of alignment, some stretching, some grounding, some earthing, coming back into myself? Yeah, what do you need? And for those who are local to my area, I'm really excited that I'm going to be part of some in-person events soon. In person, oh my goodness, what is this realm? Yeah, so if you live in or around Glastonbury or Somerset, I have an in-person sacred sound bath and autumn ritual on the 30th of September at an incredible Tudor manor house in the heart of the Somerset countryside. It's about 30 minutes from Glastonbury. And I've been super, super busy. We just got back from our incredible in-person Priestess of Sacred Sound retreat, and which was just so heart-opening and incredibly beautiful. And so, yeah, I've been so busy that I haven't shared that much about this event, this wonderful in-person gathering, which will include a candlelit sacred sound bath and journey with the energies of Mabon, this time of balance, this time of the equinox. And then Matt, the incredible owner of the farmhouse, is preparing us a multi-course vegetarian feast. So these events are always so special. And the last time I was a guest teacher there was in March, and we did sell out. So there are only 10 spots. And so if you would love to join us for that journey, you can have a look on my website. The link to the tickets is there in the event calendar. And yeah, I would love to see some familiar faces there. And it's such an interesting realm, this realm of creating in the in-person space and the online space, and kind of balancing this, because when we gathered in person last week for our retreat, I was reminded of just how deep we can go as circles of sisters, and really it's just holding this space that is exquisite in a very different way. And so as a facilitator and a teacher, I really love to operate in both realms. I love the ways in which it encourages me to stretch and grow in my own leadership. And so, yeah, it's always so interesting for me, though, to kind of balance the two and sense the different ways in which my truth is wanting to flow into the different containers. And maybe some of you who are also teachers can resonate, right? So there are lots of really delicious upcoming events that I'll be hosting, and in-person gatherings I feel are going to come in more and more. In-person retreats, collaborative retreats. I'm just full of creativity right now. So I'm really giving thanks for this beautiful community and for your support and for your willingness to really dive into these goddess mysteries with me, to open our voices together, to really activate this divine pulse of life, which for me really feels like this deep womb pulse, this cosmic womb pulse that our voices all resonate with. Yeah, so lovely to be in circle with you all. Go well. Have an incredible day or evening wherever you are. Do reach out to me if you're interested in any of our upcoming events. I'm really, open for your questions and anything else. Lots of love to you all. And before we go, I also want to mention that this gathering will be the third Saturday of every month. So I think in November, actually, I had to change the date because of something else. But for sure, next month, we'll be back here on October the 15th. So looking forward to seeing those of you that can make it then. Sending love to all of you catching the replay. Mwah, huge love, everybody. See you very soon. Goddess blessings. Bye.